Hello to my fellow history fans and people that think if I learn something new today, it will be a good day. We are continuing with Professor Noggin's questions, and one of them I don't know a whole lot about, so if you do, feel free to inform me because I love to learn new things. But here's the question. In what year did British troops finally leave America? And the answer, according to this, is 1783. And that's when they finally leave New York and most of the eastern seaboard. But apparently they stayed as long as 1796 in Michigan. I'm from the Midwest. It was Fort Detroit. And part of this is a really long and drawn out issue because after the Battle of Yorktown, now we're going all the way back to 1781, the more or less under the terms of surrender, it looks like America has won. But things will drag on until 1783 because there's a lot of things to work out. And the British stay plunked right down in New York. And in part of that is they need to get loyalists out. They'll eventually get loyalists out. There's also a huge issue, and this gets back to the Detroit issue, of debts owed. So when the revolution broke out, a lot of Americans owed, there might be merchants, farmers, whatever, owed debts to Britain. And everything kind of got on hold during the war. In fact, you couldn't pay Britain because they were the enemy. So now under this Treaty of Paris, the war is ended 1783, there's supposed to be no impediments to paying back the British all this money we owe. And however, some states were actually passing laws saying you can't pay the British because the British came in and sort of destroyed the country, so they should have to pay us. So poor John Adams, and this is a wonderful book if you ever get a chance. This is David McCullough's John Adams. He is one of the ones trying to deal with this fact that these debts paid are creating problems. The British still sitting in New York is creating problems, and it kind of went on from there. So that's a little bit of an overview, but if this is something you know a lot about, I would love to know more about. All right, number 2. How many soldiers in the Continental Army died during the war? 25,000, 250,000, or 2 million? The answer is 25,000. And actually a lot of those weren't even bullet or cannon shots. A lot of people died because of unsanitary water, because of illnesses that went through the army. All right, last question, number 3. The Continental Army remained camped at Verplancks Point outside what city in 1782? And the answer to that is New York, because New York was the big holdout, like I said, toward the end of the war. The British were holding on to it in part as a bargaining chip. So Washington was kind of waiting outside to go claim it, and there was always concerns, that they would burn it or something would happen. But anyway, eventually it all passed hands and went back to the Continentals ended up taking over New York again. Anyway, thanks for letting me share. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.